from Lawsico. Thank you for joining me. All right, so today's session is a little different, very interesting. Do it in a different way today, right? So we are going to actually do a self-assessment quiz. So how many of you here? Before anything else, of course, I should introduce myself. I am Ramanuj Mukherjee, CEO of Lawsico. I graduated from NUJS back. After that, I briefly worked in a large law firm. I worked at Trilegal, and then I started IP readers. I had started back in college itself, and I started working full time with this since. And it has been almost 10 years, not fully 10 years yet. 2012, the month of July, I started, and that was I. Lawsico started somewhere in 2017, and it has been quite some time since then. We have been working on legal education, and for the last 15 days, I have been webinars on IP laws and career in IP law, different kind of work IP law. I have done webinars on what kind of clients are there, what kind of work they have, what kind of skills are needed to succeed in IP law, how to even what kind of demand is there for Indian lawyers abroad, and so on, right? And today we are going to talk about something a little ahead in that same line. Next step, right? The next step is that, okay, if some of you want to actually have a career in IP law, how ready are you to have a career in IP law? Have you made any progress? Are you like a beginner, or are you like already have covered considerable distance? So before we go any further, how many of you actually want to have a career in IP law? The chat is open, everyone. You can write in the chat, right? You can just write in the chat. So introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you logging in from? And most importantly, tell me, do you want to have a career in IP law? Yes or no? Does IP law fascinate you? Do you want to have serve your own clients in IP law, or work in an IP law firm, or work in a company as an in-house counsel? Maybe you want to work in a technology company or media and entertainment company as an IP lawyer. Okay, so it's okay if you're a beginner. Hi Anwar, it's okay if you're a beginner. You can just say, buddy, do you want to or not? Right? Rajal Soni. Yes, it really fascinates me. Hi Rajal. Rajal is logging in from Indore. Hi Rajal. Saurav Jain. Yes, you want to serve your own clients in IP law. Pragya Jain from Delhi. Fascinated by media and entertainment laws. Great. Neelam Prusti, I'm interested, from Odisha. I have enrolled to diploma in IP law from Lawsico today. So, oh, great. So that's awesome, Neelam. Neelam also happens to work with us at Lawsico in the placement team. So, Neelam, good to know you have enrolled into our course also. Kshitij Raju, I'm a beginner and want to work in an IP law firm. Great. So what about the rest of you? I see 33 people over here. So how many of you actually, Joshua Daniel has raised your hand. I'll allow you to talk, Joshua. You can go ahead and speak. Pushdeep Kaur, beginner but want to pursue it. Pranav Sethi, I'd love to have a career with a combination of M&A with IP law if someday I would succeed. Sure, you have an interest in IP law, you have an interest in M&A law also. Jordi Malail, beginner in law. So Jordi, are you interested in IP law? Shivani Shah, I'm a practicing lawyer, majorly in civil suits in Mumbai. I do have interest in IPR and I pursued PGD in IPR. I am kind of a beginner and would love to have a career in it. Great. So what about others? Some people are watching this on YouTube also live. What about you guys? Do you want to have a career in IP law? Okay. So the interesting thing is that today, if you want to have a career in IP law, we are going to see where you stand, right? Are you ready to have a career in IP law? Have you made any progress? Have you started preparation? When you have made significant progress with IP law, what would it look like, right? Soham Rajguru, I have done a general course on IP law from WIPO. I would love to have a career in IP law. So you can check Soham that how much have you learned from your course from WIPO, which is the World Intellectual Property Organization, and are you ready to have a career in IP law? So it's a good test for you, right? And there are so many others here, but you're not saying anything. I invite you to speak up. Being quiet is not a good virtue of a lawyer, right? So come on, speak up. All right. So I will quickly pull up the. You guys still respond, right? I will quickly pull up the PPT for today. Yes. Okay, are you guys able to see my PPT? If you can see it, just write yes in the chat. If you can't see, just write no. Okay, you guys can see my PPT, right? So what is being seen on screen is most common and well-paying career in IP law, right? And these are the self-assessment, right? Are you ready for a career in IP law? These are the most common and well-paying skills in IP law. Okay, and we are going to see if how many of these skills you have, right? So one thing that people think that when they are preparing for interviews or they are trying to learn a law when you are in college, you might think that the way to learn any law is to read sections and case laws. Now, sections and case laws reading is good. It's not a bad thing, right? It's not like it is useful definitely, but it is not going to make you ready for a career in IP law, and you will see how. I'll not. This is not just a claim. You will be able to understand by the end of this presentation as to why I am saying that, right? All right. So so here are 35 skills that came on top of the list when we interviewed around 100 IP lawyers from India, asking them what are the tasks that are high margin and appear frequently on their desk. Now, these are tasks that come frequently, right? Like this is something that these are well-paid tasks and also come frequently. So if you obviously know these kind of work, then it is a very big advantage when you want to have a career in IP law. Now, this is a self-assessment, right? And you have to see how confident you feel about these tasks, right? uh, it is like when you are going through, I'm not going to give you an answer to the question, or I'm not going to teach you how to do this work, right? So when you are actually looking at the question, it can come to your mind that, okay, what is the correct answer? Or you may be thinking of an answer and you are thinking that, okay, how do I know the correct answer, right? Like I will give you the answers today. If it is something very short, maybe I'll tell you quickly, but I'll give you a brief about it maybe. But it's not like I'm going to discuss all of these in detail or teach you any of the skills in reality, right? But if you see the task and if you feel confident that yes, I know how to do this, that means that you know it, and then you have to choose one of the three options that are there. One option that you'll have is that yes, I'm confident about this work, I can do it. Second is that I have some clue, but I don't know very well. I have some ideas. And the third one is I have no clue about this, right? These are the three possible answers, and you have to decide which one of it is correct. Okay. And not only that, you mark yourself. So if you are able to say, yes, I'm confident about this task, then you mark yourself 10 points for that question. If you find one question which is like not so, you are not so sure, right? You have doubts about it, and you are like, I know a little bit about it, I have some idea, but I don't know exactly how to do what to do. Then you give yourself 2 points. And if you see that you don't know anything, you're clueless about it, then you give yourself 1 point. And you just give yourself point, and I'll ask you 30 questions, okay? And you have to see that it's a self-assessment quiz, and you have to mark yourself. So are you guys ready with pen and paper? And did you understand the instructions? If you understood, just type yes, and if you didn't understand, type no in the chat. 1 minute, please. Sure, Hashmita, get yourself pen and paper. But did you understand? Anybody didn't understand? Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I'll now go ahead. Right, ready to start. Very good. Let me just check on YouTube what is going on. Yeah, everybody understood this on YouTube. If you have any question, yeah. Aditya, Devarga. Acha, Devarga is saying, oh, repeat it once more. Sure, I will repeat once more. You have to answer the questions. There will be 30 questions I will ask you. These questions are about some or the other task, legal task, right? And there may be three answers. You have to choose one of the three answers. One answer is that yes, I am confident about this work. Second is that I have some idea, but I don't know how to actually get it done. Okay. So I have some idea, like I have a sense, I have a guess, but I don't know exactly what to do, how to do. And the third one is that I have no clue. And if you, so the for the third answer, if you have no clue, then you give yourself 1 point. If you have some clue but you're not clear about it, then you give yourself 2 points. And if you are able to answer it very well, and you know are confident that you can do this work for your client, then you give yourself how many points? 10 points. Okay, clear? Now should I proceed? Okay, Devarga is clear. Okay, so let's proceed. All right. So let's share screen. Can you draft IP infringement notices for patent infringement? According to you, what are the three most important aspects of a well-drafted notice that you must not get wrong? Okay, this additional question is there to make you think further, right? So can you draft an IP infringement notice, right? So imagine that there is, I'll give you an example, right? A situation. The situation is that I come and tell you that a competing competitor has copied some lessons from Losico and put it up. Okay, it is there. So I have to now send them what tell me what notice will I send to them? Competitor has copied our content, put it up on their website. Will send to them. What happened? Somebody answer. Not a show cause notice, but yeah, it is a copyright infringement notice. Neha got it right. Shivani is also right. Copy Pradnya is right. So copyright infringement notice. Okay. A copyright infringement notice. Now, in this circumstances, when I am sending a infringement notice, okay, how will I do you are you confident about how to draft that notice? Right, what to do you know? For example, most of the time for an online infringement, you will notice under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which is a US law, but we write US law because it is very strict on matters of copying and it has some good provisions. So giving notices under Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Do you know how to draft these notices? For example, the different aspects, like what will you ensure in the notice that this must be there, the notice to be effective and so on, right? So how will you do that? If you're very confident, then give yourself 10 points. If you have some basic idea but don't know how to do it, or you will not be able to do it, if a client came and offered you 10,000 rupees, would you be able to do this work? Try it, and then 2, you know what it is but you don't know how to do it, then B, 2 points. And if I have no clue about this, then you give yourself 1 point, right? So should I move to the next one? Are you guys getting this so that I can move to the next one? Say yes, so I move to the next one. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Second question, right? That is putting up pirated content, the copyright of which belongs to your client, hosted in a country where enforcing IP is very hard. Let's say it is hosted in China, and there copyright of other countries, and it's very difficult. You don't know what to do in China. It's a very difficult to enforce it in China or Russia for that matter, right? Do you know what steps to take in order to say of your client? Oh, Pakistan. If Indian copyrighted content is hosted in Pakistan, it is next to impossible to go and enforce that copyright over there, right? Especially, what steps can you still take in order to safeguard the copyright interest of your client? Not get that foreign website to take down that content. So the content will continue to be up. Imagine there's a Bollywood movie put up on put it up on the on Pakistani website, and trying to get it off will be very difficult. So what can you do still to protect the of this Bollywood movie in India or in other countries for that matter? What can you do? Do you know? Do you have some basic idea, or you have no clue about this? So accordingly, mark yourself. Okay. Are you guys done? Should I move to the next one? If I should have moved, so I can move to the next one. Okay. Somebody is saying, writing to the hosting company, Anwar is saying. I don't want to give all the answers, but there are so many things you can do. You can write to the domain registry. You can write to the search engines. So, for example, I can write to Google and no search result. This result should be showing up. If it does, it will be copyright violation, right? So I can follows copyright law. So I can get Google, Bing, all the search engines to take action. So people will find it very hard to find this content. Okay. To ISPs, internet service providers in India, and I can take some action so that this domain ISPs, so it from India, nobody able to access it in normal way. So, right. So anyway, so but do you know how to do it? It is one thing to think of this, oh, I can do this, but what challenges you will face if you do it and so on. How to get it done? How to take the work to the finish line? The result, right? That is what your clients will pay you for. Okay, third question. Your clients trade by a reseller on Google Ads and Amazon, right? So, for example, let's say you are called Adidas, right? And Adidas obviously owns the trademark in India, but somebody is making fake Adidas shoes and selling it through Google and selling it on Amazon also. What steps will you take to ensure immediate stoppage of such infringement? What can you do from such infringement from happening, right? So what is the answer? A, B, C. Do you know what to do, how to do, right? What, can you give a result and can you help your client to get a relief, get the result? Then A, B, C, right? Choose your answer, and then I would like to move to the next question if you are ready. Should I move to the next question, guys? Yes, no, maybe. Say something. Should I move to the next question? Pragya Jain is saying, can you please provide little bit of hint to the answer? Others are saying, yes, you can move. Okay, I'll give you a hint of the answer, right? So in this case, it is a little difficult to go and catch hold of the person who's actually infringing. Although you will try to do that, you will try to find out who it is. You'll ask such information from Amazon, from Google. Try to get it by filing interrogatory in civil suit. So many options are there. But first option is to get a temporary injunction. Most of the time, you move to the court asking for an ex-parte temporary injunction against this thing. And you'll also be sending legal notices at the same time to Google and Amazon and inform them. Most of the time, even if they get an information, they might stop this automatically. But you can also file for an ex parte temporary injunction in these cases, which is what mostly law firms do when they are facing such a situation. Because even within a few days, a lot of sales can happen, a lot of damage can happen to your brand by somebody selling substandard products in your name. It can be very bad for your company. So you want immediate results, and definitely you will be sending your legal notices to Google and to Amazon saying that I own the trademark and this you are violating my trademark. Therefore, either you stop this, I will sue you. You have to also pay us damages, etc. But at the same time, you will move to the court asking for an ex-parte temporary cease and desist notice you will send, but you'll also move to court immediately for temporary injunction, ex-parte. Okay, and in these cases, you'll get it also. It's quite common in such cases to get an ex-parte temporary injunction. Okay, so moving to the next question, right? You applied for a trademark and the concerned officer has responded with an objection that this mark is descriptive and generic and cannot be registered. What are your options? How will you respond to this objection? So do you know, if somebody says it is descriptive and generic, do you know how to respond? How to, trademark officer, it's a very common objection, and if that objection comes, then do you know how to respond to the officer and how will you go about it? For example, law eco is descriptive, right? Law eco, learn law. And if I try to register this trademark, it is possible that it may be objected by the trademark officer that no, this is descriptive. In that case, can I still argue back? Can I give some what arguments can I give to get my trademark still registered, right? What should be my responses? How do I respond to it, right? So do you know how to do this? Are you then, if you know, then you say yes, A, I'm very confident about doing this work. Otherwise, then you give yourself 10 points. If it is B, then you give yourself 2 points, and if it is C, then you give yourself 1 point. Srishti Joshi is saying you'll argue that you have been using it since some time. That is correct. You'll also give evidence that look, there are these many tens of thousands of people who like our Facebook page. This much traffic is there. This many people have bought. I have done business of so many crores, and that way you can show that there is a distinctiveness and people already have a recognition for this brand, and argue this. Okay, but do you know exactly how to do and how to do a good job at it? So if you know, then you give yourself 10 points, otherwise 2 points. If you have some basic idea, which you have basic idea, if more I don't know, because you've given one sentence answer, maybe you know it very well, so points. Otherwise, people who have no idea, give yourself 0 points, 1 point, and then let's move on. Should I move on to the next one? Yes, say yes if I should move on. Okay, great. Let's move to the next one. Okay, question number 5. Your client applied for a trademark and your client wants to object to the same. So your client, imagine that your client applied for a trademark and your client wants to object to the same, as he feels that this new or confusingly similar to his own trademark. The trademark sought to be Bewakoof.com in class 25, which covers clothing, headgear. Your client already owns Bewakoof in class 25 and sells t-shirts. Bewakoof and Bewakoof is like sounding too similar, right? And take at this point, what will you do to prevent the registration of this trademark? Again, 3 options. If you know it confidently very well what to do, and then if you don't know and have some idea but not very clear, so accordingly mark yourselves. Did you understand the question? Do you question or should I move on? If I should move on, you can say yes, let's move on. Or did you get it? Should I move to the next one? Okay, let's move. Okay, next one is that a media streaming company is buying a publication house, as along with the publication access to many amazing stories. Publication house published many novels, stories. They will get access to many that they can thereafter convert into audio visual content. You have been asked to do the IP diligence, right? Now you have to find at least 5 red flags. So do the question is that can you do an IP due diligence confidently? But I'm asking 5 red flags you will look out for, right? Can you think of 5? If you are very confident, then give yourself 10 points. Otherwise, 2 points or 1 point, depending on if you have some idea, then 2 points and 1 point. Okay. Did you understand the question? Is it clear to you? If it's not clear, ask me, Alex. Is it clear to you guys? What I'm saying? Is it clear to you? The task is not clear. Not clear. Sanjay Singh, not clear. Okay, I'll explain to you. Okay. So imagine that one company which is a publication, they have published many good books and stories, like, right? Netflix is there, Bloomsbury, it published Harry Potter and such other books, right? So he is trying to buy a publication house like Bloomsbury. Now, what before buying, obviously they are buying the IP, right? They are buying it because of all the stories and everything. So what would they want to check before buying? They will do a due diligence before buying any asset. Okay, if you're buying a company, you first do a due diligence. Now, while doing the due, want to check out. What will you want to check out? Anybody? So I will give you one example. Okay, so for example, before buying the company, I will want to see if in most, like in a standard contract, like firstly, have they signed the same kind of contract with all the authors? Secondly, I want to see if they have the right cinematograph, like, right, there is a movie right from every book, right? So do they own that right in the first place? You understand, right? Because if they don't win that right, then why am I buying it? So my primary purpose is to make movies. So I have to check if this, uh, let's say it is, which one is it? Which company is it? Bloomsbury. So when Bloomsbury, uh, signing Harry Potter with J.K. Rowling, Bloomsbury have the movie rights under the contract or not? Okay, even they have bought other books. Got the movie rights in their contract, or is the movie right with the author? Because if the movie publication, then I cannot make movies and series based on those stories, right? So buying the thing will be useless for me. So you understand? One red flag I look out for. There can be other red flags also. For example, I am now, is the IP, is there any IP related copyright notices received from other people, other authors, other publications have sent copy? Let's say I have 5 6 stories I'm really eyeing, and I will check out if those copyright infringement notice or something like that against those, because if those get caught up drama, then I might not be able to make movies on it. So I want to ensure that I have properly when I'm buying the company. So these are two examples, but there can, okay, have the company already assigned the movie rights to somebody else through contract. Okay, so I will move to the next. So you have answered this, given yourself points. So I'll move to the next one. Okay, next one is, do you know how to respond to notices by copyright societies for arrangements with appropriate copyright societies and deal with lawsuits by copyright societies, which frequent? So how many of you know what is copyright society and what is the, why as an IP lawyer you have to do? idea? Should I explain? Yes, no, maybe. Nobody's saying anything. Do you want me to explain? Okay. You want me Sanjay saying, okay, explain. So imagine that I am running a nightclub. Okay. So in you know very well that people are playing music. For the nightclub to succeed, it has to play some music. On that same song or on the track, somebody has copyright, correct? But so how do I get copyright? Are you getting my problem? To play it in the nightclub, but who will give me that license? Who do I pay royalty? Because I am not playing some one song, right? I am playing many songs randomly. So to solve this problem, a concept called copyright societies was invented. Are legally sanctioned. It is there in Copyright Act also. There is provision for copyright. So what Copyright Society does is that Copyright Society enforces the songs together. Okay, so they have all the rights of all the songs that are there. Suing discotheques, they are sending legal notice. They are sending legal notice to hotels, restaurants, any kind of public entertainment place where music is being played in public. Over from there. Similarly, there can be other copyright societies. Copyright societies, music is one thing. The copyright society for movies can also be there, and so on, right? So but music, 2, 3 copyright societies in India, and they are representing different kind of musicians and different kind of people who have copyright. So copyright society is doing this. Now, when you are an IP lawyer, sometimes you have to know how to respond to notices when you societies, then how to negotiate and enter into an arrangement to pay royalty to these, and if they are sued by them, or you have to fight if they are demanding too much money or are they're making unfair demands, then how will you fight back and deal with lawsuits from them, right? So this copyright society work can be quite important for IP lawyers, especially those who are working in the entertainment industry, hospitality industry, and people who are working in law firms, because those clients will come to you when they are getting into trouble. Okay, next one is saddest part is copyright societies in India are themselves not very well structured. And because of this, right now, there is some proposal to set up new copyright societies also in India, and reform this. There's a current proposal right now. Can you advise software companies on IP protection? Is it possible to protect a software through in India or anywhere else? Okay, maybe in the USA. If not patent, protected through copyright. Does it make sense to protect copyright of a software name? Right? Should you register? Can you get a patent on a software? Not in India, can you get it in the USA or other countries? So advising software companies, should you register copyright of a software? Does it make sense to do so? Okay. And this is the question. So basically imagine that software company CEO comes to you and wants your advice that, okay, how can we protect our software from getting copied? Can we protect it? And what are my options? So would you be able to advise them properly? Are you very confident about doing this work? Do you have some basic idea, or do you have no clue about this? Accordingly, give yourself either 10 points for option A, 2 points for option B, or 1 point for option C. Now let's move to the next one. How will you calculate the damages arising out of an IP infringement? Let's say that an e-commerce company, again, Bewakoof.com, has been selling t-shirt with image of characters from famous Netflix series Money Heist. 10,000 t-shirts were sold at rupees 500 each. Okay. Now, however, the person with actual rights to do this, may have lost a lot of money too, as you are not able to sell official t-shirts that were priced at 1500 rupees because these guys are selling it for 500 rupees. So how much damages are to be recovered from this Bewakoof.com, right? Can you calculate the damages? So if you are very sure that how this works, how much damage should be can be asked for through what is the law of damages in such situations, then you go for option A. If you have just some basic idea but not very sure, not very clear, then option B, and otherwise option C, 1 point. 10 points, otherwise 2 points, otherwise 1 point. So select that and we are moving to the next question. Let's move a little faster, guys. It is 9:42 and there are like 20 more left. So let's hurry up. Okay. Can you remove cyber squatters? It turns out that trademark Bewakoof in class 25 since last 2 years, but someone has been squatting on .com domain for last 5 years. They don't do any business on Bewakoof.com name. They domain name and sitting on it, hoping that someday somebody will buy it later. It's called domain squatting. Can person to hand over the domain name to us as we own the trademark Bewakoof? Okay. So do you know how this works? Squatting means you are just buying domain name of some other people have trademark, other people have business. You don't do any business. You just buy so that somebody runs a business on that name. They'll have to come to you and pay you money later on. This is called domain squatting. Okay. So do you know how to handle this work confidently? A, otherwise B, otherwise C. Okay. Everyone is clear. Should I move on to the next question? Or do you have any questions at this point? Nobody, nothing? Okay, all clear. Okay, now again a question. Someone is selling Bewakoof branded t-shirts and footwear in Hong Kong and Guangzhou in China at a very cheap price. Indian customers are buying the same online and receiving parcels at their home. This is a violation of the trademark. Yes or no? It is a violation of the trademark, right? So the question is, how will you help your client and stop such imports? Do you know the answer? The same online. What do you think? Do you know what to do to stop such imports? Okay, there is a customs commissioner. You have to go to the customs commissioner and stop the import. Okay, you can do other actions also, of course, but this is one of the basic things. To stop the import, you have to go to the customs commissioner who might take action. So this is what it is. So, but do you know the work? If you know, then you choose A. Otherwise, if you have some basic idea, then B. Otherwise, C. Now we'll go to the next one. Can you register sound trademarks as voice commerce becomes mainstream? Right? Very frequent. Now it is very common for sound trademarks to be registered. Okay, there are many examples. For example, there used to be a sound, tung tung, some sound used to come when Windows started. Similarly, there was a sound. Intel has a sound. Okay, it is a sound logo. Nokia being the oldest, sure. So these people registered their sound, and it is they. Some people have sound logos. Some people have trademark something else like a distinct voice or sound that is like an experience, a sound experience. So people have registered different kind of trademarks, sound trademarks, but now it is becoming important, and sound is becoming very important because simply the most important factor is that there is now you can basically people are instead of going online from buying from mobile or buying from their computer, they are doing one simple thing. They are simply simply asking, okay, Alexa, buy me so-and-so smartwatch.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
That's my Alexa.
It looks like there is an issue with the router and echo device. So try restarting them.
Okay.
Unplug both
The
of them.
device, I
Then
should not
plug
use the name
router
of the
back in.
device. The
Wait
moment
30
I say
seconds.
something, it is not
Once the
connected to the
router is
internet,
back
so
on
it
and
starts
connected
talking.
to the internet, plug in the echo device.
But what happens is that you can give a command to the device to that blah blah buy this this device, or buy this thing for me. So now what happens is that the sound trademark is very important, and more companies and more brands, it is very limited people who have registered sound marks. But going forward, because of this voice commerce, a lot of companies will start registering their sound marks. Trademarks such as catchphrases or store designs, can you register trademark for that? For example, Genius store, right? The Apple Genius bar, I don't know what it is called, but they have that Apple store where you buy. Their look and feel and design is a trademarked property, and nobody else can copy the exact same thing. If they copy the same thing, then Apple can take them to the court for trademark violation, right? So can you register such trademark? Because it is not the normal logo and word trademark. So do you know how to do this? Third thing, can you structure and negotiate franchisee deals? Can you draft franchisee agreement? So let's say, imagine, of course, it is now too late, but let's say a foreign chain like Starbucks. Before Starbucks came into India, Starbucks came to you and said that, okay, we want to give franchisee to common people. So far, they have franchisee only with Tata and all the store. They're not giving it as franchisee to people. But Starbucks decide that they will open franchisee, right? So in that case, can they ask you to draft the franchisee agreement? So do you know how to draft the agreement, how to negotiate it with different franchisees, right? So how to structure the entire agreement? It will be a lot of work to structure it itself in the first place. And do you know how to do this work? So again, if you know it very well, then give your. If you have just some idea but you don't know how to do it, basic idea hai, then you give yourself 2 points. If you give yourself 1 point, and let's move on. I'm moving on to the next one. Everyone is clear so far? Should I move on to the next one, guys? Okay. Can you patent application, draft patent claims, or provisional patent applications, and right? So this is difficult. If you know it, you know how to drafting a patent application. Patent claims is very specific, and it's a next level skill, and if you have it, you probably don't need anything else to make a career. And people who have, like, it's fantastic, right? But if you know it, then again, go ahead. 10, if you know it very well, confident, then 10 points, and otherwise 2 points, and otherwise 1 point if you have no clue. Next question. Can you conduct prior art searches and prepare freedom to operate and patent landscape reports? Right? Prior art searches, when you are, if somebody, before even somebody can draft a patent application, or even they start researching, ideally, they should be doing a prior art search to see what patents are already existing in that domain. What is the, even if it is non-patented, what is the technology that is already there? What research is already there? Because if it is already there, you cannot get a patent on it. You have to create something which does not exist in the whole world, not even in the country, but in the whole world. So first you have to see the state of the art for that particular technology, that where is the human knowledge, combined human knowledge, where has it reached? And then you have to go beyond that, create something that does not exist, and only then you can get a patent, right? So first you have to do a prior art search, and then you have to, freedom to operate report is very important. Let's say I have created a technology and I don't want to patent it. But I also cannot, if it is a very innovative technology, then there's a possibility that somebody else may have patent on it. Then I cannot infringe their patents. So there are freedom to operate reports that are prepared by lawyers that, okay, this technology, can I launch in the market or not? Okay. Patent landscape reports are little more than prior art search reports. Patent landscape is like in a whole industry. Maybe it is, say, somebody might create a patent landscape report for coronavirus vaccines. Okay. So what are the different vaccines people are coming up with? What are the different patents which are already there? What are the different provisional patents people have filed? What are the startups working here? What are the big companies working here? What do we know about their research direction? And patent landscape report gives you an entire picture of where the entire industry is and where it stands and how to move forward, right? So this patent landscape report is very valuable for companies to figure out in which direction they will go, how they will do it. Now, Sneha Tandon is asking, is a background in science important for being a patent professional and do draft patent applications? So, it's not mandatory that you have a science degree, but this is all science. So if you do not understand science or you don't like science, then it is not a career for you, right? It is something that you may not have a science degree. There are so many very good patent lawyers in India today who have never studied science, but they can understand science and they are really good patent lawyers. Science degree is not necessary, but you have to understand science. Okay. You cannot call yourself a patent attorney, but you are a lawyer. You can argue before you can argue before High Court, Supreme Court. Anyway, you can help your clients can file in their own name. So even if you cannot file on behalf of your client, you can help the client to draft their patent applications and they can file in their own name. And there are such options, right? There are people, you can do some work for USPTO. There is so much, like the people who know patent work are doing global work. There are so many patent analysts. They are neither lawyers nor patent attorneys, but they are doing this patent landscape report, prior art search, freedom to operate reports. They are preparing using software. Now there are a lot of softwares. Using the software, they are creating this. It is not necessary that you have to have a degree in science or you have to be a qualified patent attorney to do this work. This is not correct. I would say a lot of work is being done by people who are not patent attorneys, right? And that is not important. But if you don't have a science degree, they don't allow you to write the patent attorney exam, right? Pawan Kumar here is a patent analyst. So Pawan, you can give some advice, right, on this. So there are many of you here in the session who are like very successful IP lawyers, and you can help out each other, give advice to each other, and if there is any question you can answer from somebody else, maybe you know better than me. Please answer them. Right? Okay. Question number 16. Can you draft a patent, copyright, or trademark licensing agreement? Licensing agreement is very important. How about a cross licensing agreement between two technology companies, right? So you can actually go and read these licensing agreements. The other day I was seeing one cross licensing agreement between Apple and Amazon. Amazon and Apple has an agreement, and they Apple gave up a license to the patent to Amazon, and Amazon gave their patent to Apple, and you know it's a cross licensing agreement. So you can see this. Can you draft a patent, copyright, or trademark licensing agreement? Trademark licensing example is DC and Marvel Comics have a cross licensing agreement for superheroes, the term superheroes. And if a new company or a new company wants to call their superhero, then they will file a trademark case against you because they have trademark over the usage of the word superhero. They coined the word superhero, and they have trademark on it, and they'll enforce the trademark if you create a character and call it superhero. So, and they have shared this license with each other because both of them have been doing it for some time. So they got a trademark and they have an exclusive trademark on superhero, right? This concept of superhero. Can you draft an merchandising contract or a brand ambassador contract, right? This is one more. Do it yourself. If you know confidently, you can do it. 10 points. If you have some basic idea, 2 points. You have no clue, then 1. Can you draft, file, or argue a passing off suit? A passing off suit is, let's say I don't have a trademark registration. I'll give you an example where passing off is used, right? So let's say that Microsoft has not registered the trademark Windows. Forgot. For some reason, they forgot to register and they never registered. Now, what happens is that, somebody here, like, let's say Sneha realizes that, oh, Windows is not registered trademark. She knows Windows. So she makes a software and starts selling it, calling it Windows, right? Calling it Windows, she starts selling. Now, is this trademark infringement? It is not, if the trademark is not registered in India, right? Unless it is a well-known trademark, but it may not be well-known trademark. Let's say it is 1990, it is not a well-known trademark in India. So, what is the solution? How can Microsoft stop Sneha from selling a software called Windows? The answer is passing off suit. Passing off is a common law right. It is a passing off is a tort. And when you do not have registered trademark, but somebody is selling products pretending to be your product, then you do a passing off suit because your trademark is not registered. Repeat the previous slide. 17th, 16th. Oh my god. Let me see. Why not? Patent, copyright, trademark licensing agreement. How about a cross licensing agreement between two technology companies? This is 16. 17 is, can you draft and negotiate a trademark or brand ambassador contract? And now, can you draft, file, or argue a passing off suit? 17 तो देख लिया ना, merchandising contract, okay, brand ambassador contract. Can you draft a brand ambassador contract? Can you draft a merchandising contract? Merchandising is, for example, let's say there's a famous music band like Coldplay, right? So, do you think I can just start printing Coldplay t-shirts and start selling? There are many Coldplay bands. So if I sell Coldplay t-shirts, maybe they will buy. But can I do that? The answer is no, because Coldplay has a trademark on it. Maybe they don't have a trademark in India. In that case, I might be able to do it. But if they don't have trademark, so basically, if they have trademark, then they will give the merchandising rights to a company. That, okay, this company has, I'm selling you the right to merchandise. So you are giving me $10,000, and now you can use this right. Like, you can go and print Coldplay on t-shirts and sell, or on mugs or whatever, right? So this is a merchandising right. And then contracts are signed, merchandising contracts. Clear? Now, after that, passing off, ho gaya, passing off suit, clear. Should I move on to the next one? Right? Shall we focus on 19? Can you prevent abuse and misuse of trademark by competitors, such as in a comparative advertisement, or disparaging social media posts, or fake reviews, right? So there can be, using your, so if somebody is misusing your trademark or abusing your trademark, right? Like, they are putting in their advertisement, they're saying that, oh, this is a bad company, or ours is better than theirs. So then you have to move under trade. So you will say this is a trademark infringement. Okay, and because you cannot use my trademark in your advertisement, or you're misusing my trademark to make a point about your product, which is not allowed. This is a violation of my trademark. So, you can actually go to the court for trademark infringement if you want. Do you know how to do it? What to do? What strategy you'll follow? Do you know? If you know it very clearly, very confident, then give yourself 10 points. If you have some basic idea, give yourself 2 points. If you have no clue, give yourself 1 point. and then next point, point 20. Are you guys ready to move to point 20? Yes, no, maybe? Correct. So, like Samsung in recent advertisement stated that we provide charger with our phones, thereby mocking Apple. Pragya is right. But imagine that they did not specifically say, "Na, Apple does not." If they wrote Apple specifically in the ad, it might have been a, you know, it might have led to a trademark infringement case. Okay. Can you help the marketing team of a business by vetting advertisements and marketing content for legal for a media company to avoid litigation or legal action? Wait the content company to avoid litigation or legal action. So the question is that, in the there may be things which are against the law, or there may be things which will you to legal liability. Possible, right? In the advertisement, I'll give you an example. You cannot use in an advertisement. Okay, if you're using Indian flag or the Ashok Stamba that in an ad, that is illegal. Or you cannot use the name of United Nations or in in an ad. So somebody has to these ads. It's created by spending tens of lakh crores of rupees, even movies or series, right? There was such problem legal, there are so many legal problems over movies. For example, let's say somebody is making stand-up comedy, right? And they are making jokes about some religion or something like that. Now, is this legally fine? Lawyers are asked for their advice that for any content that goes on Netflix, Amazon Prime, or even on TV channels these days, first lawyers have to go through it and we are fine with this content. This is legally vetted and confirmed. Even advertisement they go online, because otherwise there can be a lot of legal problem. Okay, avoid any cases later on and so on. And there is also guidelines of ASCII, Advertising Standards Council of India, and so on. So there is all of these weighting of content is as well as for media content, any kind of content. Okay, series, anything. Can you draft and implement contracts to protect trade secret? Right, another kind of intellectual property. Can you draft, and it is protected through contracts? Okay, so make people sign contracts if you want to protect trade secret. Can you draft and implement contracts to secret? Next question, can you draft and argue applications for temporary injunction? If you can't argue, it's okay. Normally, very good senior counsels are asked, but can you draft it? Can you brief the counsel? Right, this is the work that most people in a lot of times in companies also the lawyers are doing. Ex-parte temporary injunction in IP cases, very important if you're going to work in a law firm. Can you effectively respond to patent and trademark and wear them down through legal strategy? Because do you know what is a patent troll or a trade? Okay, guys, I'm getting really tired and it's like 10:05 already. So I don't want to make this long. I don't know if troll and trademark troll, but you have to Google this. This is a very serious thing. Okay. Trademark trolls and patent trolls. This is something that IP lawyers should know. How to navigate the PCT, filing international patents, and how to get international trademarks through the Madrid protocol, right? This is another type of work that IP lawyers have to learn, because you are filing it in India is one thing, but when you have to file it internationally, then you go through the PCT system, maybe patent cooperation treaty. Through that, you can get the same priority date across the world in different all the countries which are part of this PCT system. Similarly, there's Madrid protocol where you can get trademark registered. Okay, so this is a this is what you do if you want to internationally in many countries register your patent or trademark. Can you research and effectively map the patent strategy of competitors? Can you advise your company on how to develop an offensive and patent related work, very specifically advisory work? Okay, again, I don't want to take too much time. Next question. Can you draft media and entertainment contracts that such as co-production agreement, agreement with directors, actors and performers, music license, model releases, photo releases, location releases, etc. Okay, so these are media and entertainment contracts. You should be able to draft them if you want to work as an IP lawyer, because these to IP, these contracts. Okay, guys, are you guys comfortable till now? Any questions, or should I move to the next question? Nobody's saying anything? No questions? Come on, come on. Ask me questions if you have any questions. Please, 25th question. Let's proceed. Okay, let me just check on YouTube also once. If there is okay, no questions here in YouTube also. So let's move. Can you draft complex royalty sharing and input sharing agreements? Royalty sharing can be contingent on the performance of a party or overall commercial success of a venture. Many of these agreements can look like complex joint venture agreements, which are more temporal in nature because they're temporary, they are not permanent. Joint ventures are more permanent, but royalty sharing agreements are often temporary agreements for a short time, but very much like joint ventures. Money can ride on these agreements, which makes them too important to draft and negotiate loosely. So, usually these go to very good lawyers to work on this, but royalty sharing agreements, this is also heavily relying on IP and IP often IP and media and entertainment lawyers, right? So, what will you say? Like, are you confident about doing this work? Then give yourself 10 points. Not so confident, have some basic idea, then 2 points, 1 point. Then we move to the next one. Can you draft effective and assignment agreements in employment and consultancy agreements, right? Can you draft effective IP protection and assignment agreements in employment and consultancy agreements? Okay. So in employment and consulting, this is a very basic work that even if you don't know any IP law, should be able to do it. This is one of the most important things in any employment and consultancy agreements, that who's going to own the IP that comes out of it, and it should get properly assigned, because if it is not properly assigned and the extent to which it is assigned is not clear. For example, if you don't write specifically, uh, you know, it is a temporary assignment or a permanent assignment. That has to be. It has a perpetual assignment, then it has to be mentioned. If it is a geographical limitation, if or is it for the entire universe, entire world, that has to be mentioned. Because if it is not universal and you write nothing, if you write clearly universal, then it is universal. Otherwise, it will mean only the territory of India. If you don't mention anything, if you don't mention any time, it will mean 3 years, because that is given in the law, that if you mention nothing, then assignment is only for 3 years. It's a big disaster, right? So you have to clearly mention all these things. Can you do trademark or patent prosecution work with respect to or European Union IP office, right? This is also very important. US Patent and Trademark Office. Do trademark prosecution and patent prosecution. If you know, it's really awesome. It has a lot across the world. Conducting IP raids to catch and confiscate grey market and counterfeit goods. Can you coordinate with local law enforcement and courts for necessary sanctions, permissions, and effective rates. So imagine that there is a gray market where they sell a lot of counterfeit goods, a lot of in trademark infringement is happening, copyright infringement is happening, right? So what will you do? You will conduct IP raids. To do an IP raid, first you may have to take a warrant from the court. Then you have to coordinate with the local police force. Then you go and do the raid. Because if you go without police force, maybe the smugglers or the pirates will beat you up. So to confiscate the goods, you must go with proper legal documentation and also with police backup. And only then you can do it. But if you don't handle it properly, police might, leak the information to the pirates for all you know. So you have to be very careful so that there is things actually happen smoothly and it's an effective raid. And if the raid is effective, then of course you can get paid. Most of the time you get paid only when the raid is effective, and there are parameters as to when the raid will be effective. So there's quite a bit of work, from coordinating with the courts, coordinating with police, and getting it done. You have to get the information. There will be private investigators involved who are bringing you the information, and then as a lawyer you are coordinating the whole thing. That's how you conduct IP and confiscate counterfeit goods. Okay, time for score. We are done with the 30 questions, guys. Do you have any questions, or do you want me to repeat any questions, or should we just move to the score? So what is your score, guys? Somebody said 29 to be repeated. Trademark prosecution work, patent prosecution work with respect to USPTO, EU IPO. Right? So what is your score? Please add up quickly in the chat. What is your score? Come on, come on. Anwar's score is 30. What is your score, guys? Ritesh is 31. What about the others? Pragya, I would not give myself more than 30 and need to learn a lot of things. Jordi is 45, Saurav Jain 100, Ashmita Sehgal 170, Shivani is 76. Very good. What the others? Devagya 163. Very nice, Devagya. What about the others? 44, Pranav Sethi. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Shivani. 25th question. Oh my God. Okay, let's see this 25th question. This is 25th question. Research and effectively manage strategy of competitors. Can you advise your company on how to develop an offensive and defensive patent portfolio? Research and effectively. Pushpdev 47, beginner Rajal Sony 35. So let's see, what does this mean, right? What is the meaning of this? No problem if it is not good. Feel bad or anything. Did you score between 181 to 300? Anyone scored above 1? Already rocking it. You have already learned plenty of valuable IP skills. You may still have some gaps. Understand the value of filling up those gaps, given that you have already learned so much and you know that it's really valuable skills. You get paid handsomely when you have the skills. So fantastic. Congratulations if you scored over 180. It's really amazing. If you scored between 101 to 180, you have got a good start. away from being like a highly valued asset in the domain of IP law, because you can diversify and you have a lot of room to grow, because you add more skills, you will be a more sought after IP advisor, right? You know a few things well, but way too many things are slipping through the crack. 6 months of consistent effort to learn the skills that are missing from your arsenal can change your fortune. You should really see the things that you don't know yet and really learn those skills, because you have already learned. So for example, you are at 163, like you are really doing pretty well. Somebody is at 170, really well, right? Now learn the rest, right? That would be significant. That would be making you a formidable IP attorney, right? So it's a very good idea that you develop more skills. You don't have to develop 300 out of 300, but how much you can do, 250, right? It would make a big difference. Okay, did you score between 30 and 300? Are you sure you're interested in IP? If you are, you have a long distance to travel. Make sure, since you are willing to take this quiz all the way, I'm sure you have some interest. However, it is time to convert that interest into work. Otherwise, interest will remain interest, guys, and you will not make much progress. Nothing will happen in life, right? So, Pawan Kumar with 8 years of experience in IP industry. So Pawan, you are clear, right? If you want to, your rest also, this is happening because your knowledge is restricted to patent law. This is entire IP law. But if you know this much from the entire IP spectrum, then you can work in any IP law firm. You can explore international opportunities. You will be highly in demand in any Indian IP law firm, right? Even if you're a student and you have, you score 150 also out of this or 140, and you go for an internship, they'll be mind blown by how much you know, and you have a very good chance of landing a job. And not only you land a job, you'll succeed at the job. You'll be one of the best associates. You'll get very good bonus, you will get fast promotions and so on, right? That's what you want to do. Okay, so how can one learn these skills? So we have a workshop on 13th November. Let me share the link with all of you. If you have not already got the link, then make sure you join, right? So I'm going to have a webinar tomorrow, 6 to 9 p.m. workshop, right? Where we'll do these things and how to kickstart your career in international IP law, and how to get foreign clients even, and start building your portfolio, start building your track record, so that you can get the best opportunities that are there in the world for IP law sitting in India. Okay, so we'll also talk about how to develop these skills, how to, what I will discuss the journey, like from wherever you are, how to make it, like how to get to 150. What does it look like? How to plan your next 6 months so that you can get to, like, 200, 180, and be ready to actually take on a role at a good law firm or so on. Okay. So hope you all are ready, guys. Right? Anybody who all of you will come to the workshop? Who are looking forward to the workshop? Only Rachna will be there. Shivani, Pushdeep already registered. Anwar, on that email ID. Pawan will surely come. Looking forward. Pragya Jain, Kshitij, Raju, Hitesh. Okay. What about the rest? You guys won't come? Rajal already registered. Alisha. Okay. Good, good, good. So looking forward to you guys. One more thing I want to share with all of you. Sort of Jain. Great, great, awesome. So in tomorrow's workshop, I'll also have a partner from a New York law firm with 30 years of IP law experience joining us. For 1 hour, he'll be there in the workshop, and he will also share his insights. Because if I tell you I can do this work, do that work, you may or may not believe me. So I actually got a New York law firm partner in one of the top IP law firms to come and tell you that what is what, right? You might say that, oh, I don't know if Ramanuj is saying Ramanuj is not an IP lawyer. What does he know? But Now, if I get you an IP lawyer, a partner in a top IP law firm, then you believe me, right? So good. So tomorrow we are going to talk about opportunities, and also if you know anybody else, your friends who is very interested in IP law, would be interested in a earning good money, working with foreign clients and so on. Do invite them also to join. Share the link with them. Tell them to come for the session, and definitely looking forward to seeing all of you in tomorrow's session. But yeah, one more thing is that I want to also share one course with you. There's a course I have designed for this opportunity. But just see this before you actually come to the work. Just take out like 5 minutes and read through this, right? Uh, it's a course I have jointly developed with Texas A&M University, and the reason for and there will be like American US professors also teaching in this course, and we have developed this course because it's one thing to have the knowledge, but you also sometimes need to have the recognition, and from a good law school. And TAMU, Texas A&M University School of Law, is ranked 8 in US as an IP law school. So rank 8 IP law school. So it's one of the top 10 IP law schools in the USA. So having a certification from them can make a big difference to your if you're trying to do these things, apart from learning the skills, obviously, which is why Law Seco tied up with this top university in the US to launch this course. I have shared the link with all of you. Check it out, okay, before you come to tomorrow's workshop. Anyway, tomorrow's 3-hour workshop, free of cost. Do not miss it. You will not be able to see a recording of it. It will not be live on YouTube, nothing, right? So be there. Don't miss it, guys. And looking forward to seeing you all there tomorrow. Okay. Take care. Have a great night. If there's any question, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, we can wrap it up. Yeah? Anybody? There is a question from Vikrant Singra. Sir, can all these skills be learned by Law Seco courses? Yes, absolutely. It can be learned by Law Seco courses. We have different courses in IP law. We have even an entire special course for patent law. But what I will recommend right now is our course on patent prosecution, right? I'll just share the link with you here on YouTube also. I have already shared it here. I don't know what is up with people who do CS. They always come and tell everybody to do CS. I have shared the link of the course with Tamu just above. Okay. I'm sharing the link for tomorrow's workshop also. And remember, I don't know how often do you get a chance to interact with a New York law firm partner from one of the top IP law firms, right? With 30 years of experience. So I would say do not miss this at any cost, guys. Make sure you are there. Okay, so here is a workshop link, TAMU course link. I'll share again. You can just Google TAMU Law Seco course or IP prosecution TAMU Law Seco course, and you will find the link, but I'm sharing it here again with all of you. Okay. Vikrant Singra, you take this course with TAMU. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Check this out. Talk to us if needed, but I would say go for this. It's a 3 months course. You will get the knowledge of IP prosecution, and it is a great starting point. Okay. Okay, live strong. I hope you have got your access to the workshop. All right. Thank you, everyone. What are any other questions? Happy to answer. Patent law course link, please. Patent law course, Law Seco, and you'll find it. But I would suggest instead of patent law course, do this course. This will help you more. Kshitij Raj, what if we have interest in both M&A and IPR? So we do them both. So do them one by one, right? So either start with IPR M&A, and as you make progress, then you start learning the other thing also. It's like that, I want to learn piano and guitar also. No problem, you can learn both. But if you try to learn both at the same time, may not be a great idea. First, you make sure you learn one thing, you get mastery on it, and then you can also you have you know uh, 50 years of career ahead of you. You can learn why two things. You can learn 10 other things, but have patience. Learn one thing well, then go for the one more. Okay. Uh, and make sure at least in one you are good enough to do well in your, I mean, focus on that. Do more internship in that. All of that, and then, and if you don't like it, you can shift, right? But if you don't do it with all your heart, you'll never know if you really like it or not. It's all in your head. Otherwise, you're imagining stuff. You are not experiencing. Go experience it. Shivani Shah, thank you for bringing a mirror as to where we stand as far IP knowledge is concerned. Have a great evening. Thank you, Shivani. That's actually, I'm so glad that you're saying that. That's a great compliment for me. Kshitij Raju, what if we, this I answered. Which course will you prefer for beginners in this area? The TAMU course. Take the TAMU course. It is starting soon from 15th. I think it is start. Like, just don't worry about it. Just go for that one. If we are a fresher, what should be the ideal score in this quiz? There is no ideal score, Pranav. Ideal score is 300. Okay. How does it matter if you're a fresher or Akash? You try to go for as much as possible. If you are at 30, then try to become 40, then try to become 50, right? You don't think that you're a fresher today, you'll not be a fresher tomorrow, right? You'll not be a fresher 2 years later. So forget about it. You are not, it's like saying that I am 15-year-old. Should I be rich? I don't know. I mean, nobody has any rules for this, right? How much do you want to be? How much do you want to know? Nobody's stopping you from learning more because you're a fresher. Why can't, how much can you learn in the next 3 months? How much can you learn in the next 6 months? That is more important. How much, where will you be 1 year later? That is more important. Is there any course for M&A? Yes, of course, there is course for M&A. I'll just moment. M&A was one of our earliest courses, one of the first courses we ever launched. M&A, investment laws, institutional finance. Okay, shared. Link is shared. Yeah, you have to excel in this field. You have to be one of the best in the world. You have to be an asset to law firms. You'll be like, really stand out from your knowledge and your abilities, and you have to be extraordinary. That is the idea. Will I get the separate certificate from TAMU after this course? Yes, you will get a separate certificate from TAMU. Okay, Rajal. We will also give you a certificate from Lawsico, but you will get a certificate from TAMU. All right, great, awesome, guys. So thank you so much, and thank you for being here. Tomorrow, I have also invited one of the top patent law faculties from TAMU to come, and I hope they'll be able to make time. I'm not entirely sure, but I have requested to just come and a few questions, perhaps, at least for 5-10 minutes. I'll try. She is going agency, so I'm not sure that she'll be here, there, or not. But I promise I'll more sessions. I have planned sessions with top lawyers from around the world. We just had confirmation from one of the top IP lawyers in China, top IP lawyers in Korea, top IP lawyers in England, who confirm that they'll be teaching in this course, taking guest lectures in this course, so that you can learn how the IP prosecution work is done in those countries. Okay, so I hope you guys are excited. Uh, you know, for me, it is not about just teaching what is normally taught in this country. I want to push the boundaries. I want to teach you guys stuff that nobody's teaching you. I want to make careers possible for you that nobody is thinking of doing it. Because that is how we work at Lossico, pushing the envelope, pushing innovation, doing things that nobody can imagine, and that is the fun stuff, right? So I hope to have with you all tomorrow in the session, and check out the course, enroll if you like the course, and come tomorrow. We'll interact more. Okay, and I'll tell you how you can get foreign work. How can you get work from law firms in New York, or how can you get work from companies abroad? Okay, and what skills you need for that, and what you have to do to get such work. And honestly, I was mind blown. You can earn more than people are earning in big law firms in India if you can do this, what I'm going to show you. And there is no competition, guys. The competition is so ridiculous how easy it is to succeed in doing this, okay? Because there is no competition. There was a time when getting into National Law School Bangalore was very easy. Anybody who gave the exam got in. Because nobody was applying to go to National Law School Bangalore. Nobody thought that it was a good career. When I gave exam for only 4,000 people gave entrance test for NUJS. Today, if there is a separate entrance test for CLAT, 30-40,000 people will give. CLAT is given by some 60-70,000. I don't know how many people give CLAT. Now, just imagine how competition grows later on, because people get this opportunity early. I am giving you an early opportunity that people have not recognized, right? It is very early, it is super low. If you go in now, you will probably succeed, because competition is so low. You just have to do 1, 2, 3 things, you will be able to succeed, right? So definitely see you tomorrow. We'll talk more about those opportunities. I hope you are excited as much as I am. Okay. All right. So hope to see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. Have a great Diwali. Have a great pre-Diwali uh, week. All the best. Good night. Bye.